Boss Talk Radio, the #1 online business and entrepreneurial talk show. Brought to you by Elite 8 Tax and Financial Services. Here's your host, the Texas tax expert, George Dandridge.
What up, Boss Talk Radio? Hey, we doing something real different this week. We coming to you guys live from none other than the Cu'Noma Cigar Lounge down here in Dallas, Texas. So we never did a live on location before, but you know, your boy about to go on vacation, and I really just didn't want to sit in the studio and do it like that. But we got Dallas Leaf in the building. We're going to be talking about the culture. We're going to be talking about a few different things and, you know, kind of a freestyle live session here, a round table, if you would. It's pretty good, too, Ryan. We got Ryan in the building. Everybody go around the table, introduce yourself one time.
Hello, my name is Sheree. I'm the social media director. I do all the social media stuff.
What's up, everybody? Ron Smith, owner, CEO of Dallas Leaf LLC.
Shimon Normal, the president of the cigar brand of Dallas Leaf.
Roy, aka the Black Brad Pitt, representing BIC.
That boy said the Black Brad Pitt social media about to go crazy right now one time. And later on, we're going to pull my man Tommy Black over here on the Cu'Noma Lounge. We also want to give some shouts out. We have True Blue Media in the building, my man Brandon. We have Destination and Occasions in the building, my personal travel agency, and I'm going on a bunch of trips. Y'all, President talking about, or somebody was talking about shutting this thing down again. They're going to have to arrest me because I didn't cancel 3 trips this year. And I'm about to go knock off a couple of Bambies real quick this weekend, some Hogs next weekend, and then what it is, I'm going Cabos. Then I'm going to Cowboys after that. So if they shut it down, y'all gonna have to bail me out of this situation.
Gotta come get you.
So let's see. Normally we do, you know, 5 minutes of fire. We normally do boss term of the week and some tax tips or whatever. I'm gonna just hit you with one on the tax tips. Do that intro right here. So if you have not filed your taxes as of yet, watch your conduct. E-filing shuts off November 21st. And I'm only in the office 2 days next week. I ain't about to lie to you. Monday's already booked. So you might want to start sending some emails this weekend. Our director get you in the queue and work me like a dog on Tuesday. And I might work a little bit on Wednesday, but after that, I'm out. I'm going and shoot some bacon. So that's your tax tip for this week. And so we're going to go ahead and jump right into this cigar culture here. Dallas Leaf. You guys have your own line. You guys have the clothing.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about the cigar culture here for a minute because, you know, for as long as memory serves me, it's always, you know, been a sign of class and the way gentlemen relaxed or whatever. And we're having a bit of an involvement in the culture over the last 10 years. I see a lot of us getting into the business on very different skills from manufacturing, lounges, etc. Tell us about your journey and what made you get into it.
Oh man, I've been smoking cigars 20 plus years, and I got into it back in the military.
Man, you look like you're 30 years old. Come on, man.
Nah, man, that brother over there, man, he older than me. He don't even look it. But
Brad Pitt,
Brad Pitt, man. Hey, Roy over there, man, he got the fountain of youth for real. But military got me turned on to cigars way back when. I'll be deployed, you know, we'll be smoking or whatever. But like you said, the culture back then, you know, it was you know, something that you did on the golf course or in the back room playing poker, whatever. Now, today, you got, you know, ladies smoking cigars. You got black-owned cigar lounges like my man here, Tommy, my frat, Cu'Nomas, and a few others. And then you got, you know, us owning our own blend. You know, we was in Atlanta September. I met a gentleman, a black-owned cigar roller. So it's not just you know diverse with the men. You know, us we own it, black-owned. Ladies are getting into it down the street. You got Blowing Smoke Cigar Lounge, which is owned by a lady. My girl Evie, shout outs to you. So the diversity in it, man, and today's cigar industry is amazing. Plus, with 9 billion in sales last year, you know, we just want a little piece of the pie, man. That's all, man. It's a good industry to be in.
Just a little piece. I mean, between cigars and the legalization coming to cannabis,
Right?
You got to get a little percentage of something in there,
Something, man, make us happy. That's all.
So, Sheree, let me ask you a question, and work with me on this because I didn't frame this one up. Didn't know you was gonna be in the building, but we've seen an evolution in women in the cigar culture. Way back, way back, when you saw women in the cigar lounge or whatever, for lack of better words, they were trying to get chose. They figured it's where the guys with the money were, but now they're like, for real smokers and for real in the business.
Yes.
What are you noticing with women, and what's bringing more women into the fold with that?
Well, I mean, like you said, where the men are, the women follow. And at first it was, with women, it was about going and, meeting different people and networking and socializing. But now, we're enjoying the cigar. Mm-hmm. And it's not just the sweet stick. We enjoy the medium, the full bodies, and it's the flavoring of the cigar. We're interested in educating ourselves, about cigars.
It's interesting you brought up education on that, because I see a lot of times, you go in the lounge, and maybe this was just me, maybe this was my experience, but I've only been smoking cigars now for about 8 years. I went from flavored sticks to real sticks and whatnot. And, my smoke buddy over here, we drop in and I'm just, kind of picking out. But one of the things I found interesting, a lot of times people that work in the cigar lounges, they don't know how to recommend the sticks to you based on, what you're describing. And I had to get my vocabulary up, get my vernacular, a little correct so I can, ask for what I wanted or whatever. But how do you guys go about helping people choose the right stick? Because you have a whole line. Talk to us about the line.
Well, the line, like I said, we basically right now we have 3 different blends. We have a light blend, we have a medium blend, and we have a dark blend. So typically, what I do or what we do as a company, we'll just try to see and ask what kind of blend they like. So we'll just ask what kind of what do they normally smoke. So then from there, we'll just kind of from there, okay, they say they want to smoke something light, so we already know we'll pick the pace. If they say, I smoke something real heavy, we'll pick, the bishop. So it's just really depending on what they smoke. We have something to fit all your palates. So that's what we tend to do.
And it was designed that way. When we sat down and we talked about, actually standing up the cigar subsidiary company, we wanted to come out with the number of cigars that we can fit within the range of palates for a cigar smoker. So we know we go from a kinetic or a light stick all the way to a Maduro or a full body stick. And we wanted to basically have something for you. Not specialize in one particular blend, but have at least 3 different blends that we can offer to the cigar community. So we put some thought into it. Matter of fact, this place right here last year was our first testing of our blends. We brought in about 20 different palettes. No rings on our cigars. We handed them out, let everybody critique them, and that's how we pretty much started with our blends. So Tommy has been instrumental in helping us develop our cigar line.
That's awesome. Now, so I came across you guys. There was a big event coming up, and I found out that You do the social media,
I do,
right?
yes.
So shout out to you because that's how I came across it.
Thank you.
It was it Smoke Dallas or Blowing Smoke Dallas, something like that. There was an event, and I was like, damn, I'm gonna be out of town or whatever. And I was like, I gotta connect with them one time. But so you guys, besides the actual cigars, you also do clothing and events and everything all around town. Talk to us about the mission of Dallas Leaf within that, because I see you got the entertainment all across the hat.
Yeah. So, Dallas Leaf started out just as a cigar club. A bunch of us sitting around at this spot called Vanetti's, and we were going down to Black Smoke Miami, my man Keith, Jason, and TK. And we wanted to go as a club. So that's how Dallas Leaf first started. But from there, the business minds kind of set in, was like, what else can we do with this? So
that's how it always happened over
always. So we said we definitely want to do a cigar company. We already got the club, so those two we subsidiary. Then we was like, okay, what else can we do? We thought about the foundation. So we do have a Dallas Leaf Foundation for our charities events. Breast cancer is very near and dear to me. The Dallas Leaf Entertainment.
Wait, hold on. We ain't gonna just run past that like you ain't said that or whatever, because one of the things that I think is critical in our community, and this is one of the reasons behind Boss Talk Radio. For those of you that's joining us for the first time, the acronym BOSS is Business Operations Success Suite. And it's imperative to me to connect with small business owners to fix their problems before it become a problem, in the way of compliance and things of that nature. But one of the elements I think is just critical for small businesses, understand that small businesses are the number one employers in America, but small businesses, particularly in our community, we can't just run in and snatch the bag and then run on out to the burbs or whatever. Right. Talk to me a little bit more about that foundation, because I think that every business, even a small business, has a component where they can give back, even if it's not monetarily. Right. There's ways that you can support different community events, community uplifting, if you would.
Right.
So tell me a little bit more about the foundation.
Well, the foundation, like I said, for me, when I looked at forming Dallas Leaf LLC, I knew I wanted to have a charity piece on this because of that very fact that you mentioned, giving back to the community, giving back to a charity. I lost my aunt and my cousin to breast cancer, so I know for me, being part of the Susan G. Coleman event every year was something I wanted to do. But there were so many other things that we wanted to expand within our own community. There's a young man called my man Turner, Jackson Turner. He's only like 12 years old, but he has a charity called Never Too Young to Give. So Dallas Leaf got involved with him last year, do a lot of donations and everything within the community. So the foundation piece, the 501c3 and everything was very important, very instrumental to us. It plays a background role. It's not as popular out there as our cigar company is. But whenever we do anything that has to do with charity, we try to do it up under our umbrella of the foundation. So it's very near and dear, man. I can't see, not doing what we do on the cigar side and not giving back. We have to give back, So.
And I don't know if y'all know it, but my director of operations is actually a 2-time cancer survivor, and that's a big deal for her. So, so outside of the foundation, you also have the entertainment piece.
Yeah. So I think that event that you mentioned, as well as the other, like the cigar crawls and the birthdays that we just went through in October, all fell up on our entertainment umbrella. And then we have the Mega Cigar event that we do, which is our annual year 3-4 day event that we bring everybody together, smoke cigars, education, entertainment, everything under the sun that we think about as far as cigars. We try to do it in 3 days. So we have 5 subsidiary companies under LLC. They all have a different purpose and a branch that we try to make sure that it's some sort of cigar related, of course, because that's how we came together, but it's not cigar specific.
Gotcha. That's huge. So, how have you guys turned the corner and managed your way through the COVID piece?
Man,
Trying to stay relevant.
social media.
So it's been taxing on you. Right?
Heavy on her. And then too, man, the connections that we make, man. I mean, Roy is sitting here today because of our Houston connection. We have a very close connection with our Houston family. All them houses and clubs and cigar lounges down there. Houston is really important to us, and it helped us throughout this COVID period where we can network.
Right.
He's here today, man, because he comes down every so often. He brings his influence, the Houston brand down here. I'm wearing a shirt that's called Cigar Wars because my man Soto down in Houston. He has a big following, big line that he does down there. And we just managed to stay networking. I think that's the biggest thing that has helped us throughout COVID.
Now, if you've ever watched this show, you've heard me say this a million times, that your network is your net worth. And so maybe hearing it from somebody else, y'all understand that sometimes you have to get from behind the buttons, and actually shake some hands and meet some people and everything. So since we're on the social media piece, we're going to go ahead and pay some bills. And when we come back, I'm going to bring my man in from True Blue Media and my man Tommy Black, owner of Cu'Noma Lounge, and talk to them for just a second on how they stay relevant through that thing. But don't sleep on it, because I'm going to touch them politics and everything before we get up out of here. I'm going there or whatever. So get your drawers out your booty and get ready.
The U.S. government has given billions of dollars to businesses in an effort to curb the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. The government will begin to pursue recouping these funds in 2021. Aggressive penalties will be imposed on companies that do not follow regulations and guidelines for proper use of these funds. Criminal charges are already being levied on fraudulent use. Don't suffer again. Get a customized business operations success suite from Elite 8 Tax and Financial Services for your company today. Boss packages include entity formation, payroll, accounting and bookkeeping, tax planning, tax filings, and quarterly strategy sessions to minimize your tax liability, increase efficiency, and maximize your profits. Make your appointment today at elite8financial.com. Get the guidance, tools, and protection your business needs now. Get Boss. Get behind the shield.
Finding your brand space in this ever-changing economy can be challenging to new and established businesses. Graphic Line Media can help launch your business's brand potential to unknown places with creative revisioning that relentlessly presses the competition. From graphic design, web, print, apparel, media, and social, we have something designed to grow your business. Don't hesitate. Rule your space. Visit Graphic Line Media at graphiclinemedia.com or join our Facebook page at Graphic Line Media to get special discounts and offers.
All right, we back. And so we were talking about this social media piece. Wanted to bring my number one smoke buddy in, Mr. Brandon Beasley. What up, dude?
Brandon.
All right, how everybody doing?
Doing well, thank you.
So you got True Blue Media.
True Blue Nation Media.
Talk to me. Talk to me. So tell us about True Blue Nation. It always kind of disturbed me because y'all know I'm the number one Cowboys hater. He be branding the star and all of that stuff, but that's my dog. He all right for a Cowboy fan. Number one Cowboy fan.
Here's another.
Sitting next to you, surrounded by him now.
That's all right. I'm who that all day.
Oh no.
And twice on Sunday. You know what I'm saying? So tell us about your social media efforts because you keep a lot of people relevant right now.
Like my man right here from Dallas, Lee said, man, social media is keeping a lot of businesses afloat. And it's about being personable online. You can establish a lot of connections just online, just by meeting each other. I came in the building. I already followed my man here and Dallas Leaf already, and I was like, I know him from somewhere. Then I was like, I already followed most of the people in here. So social media is like a bridge. It brings everybody together, especially common interests. Like you said, we're smoke buddies and everything. We'll get together for a football game or something. Then halftime we go out there and light up. Right. And I see what they're doing online, and I applaud y'all for your Black-owned businesses. And like I was telling my man here, we need to support you guys. Right.
Well, like I said, support is free.
Oh, yeah. All day. And I was about to say that because I love that.
One more time for the people in the back.
Support is free.
Support is free.
I love that slogan. Every time I peep you on social media and I see that and I see how many different businesses y'all are touching and bringing to the forefront, all I have to do is just tip my hat to you guys, and that is so awesome.
A like or a share costs nothing but 2 seconds of your time. So I want to hit my man off over. First of all, thank you, because this is the first time we've ever done a live on location event. So thank you for coming in early and setting your day off to the side to host us in this situation. My man Tony Black, owner of Cu'Noma Lounge. And Ron said you've been very instrumental in their project, but tell us about your journey. What made you get into you decided to open a cigar lounge, and that's not that common for us. Yeah. So tell us about your journey with that.
I just started smoking cigars, 20 years ago.
Another 30-something year old talking about 20 years ago.
Actually, I'm not that new. But I heard what Ron said earlier, and I could relate to it because when I got downrange in Baghdad, I got in a circle of guys, and it's like I was smoking cigars, and I had already found the first cigar that made me fall in love with a cigar, which I still carry here at the lounge to this day. But when I was downrange in Baghdad, it was, that's where I really started to really nerd out on it even more and really smoke more cigars and really started paying attention to blends and reading every blend and so forth. And then, when I got ready to come home, the reason why I came home was, I remember a conversation with Eleanor to the Pentagon for our program. He said, Tommy, we want you to go and run Kuwait. And I said, Ken, I've already started sending stuff home. I want to go home and focus on my cigar lounge. And so it's been, really rewarding to see some of the guys, Marines and, 82nd Airborne guys and operators from SF and so forth that actually walk through the door and see that we used to sit in a 5x8 Connex with a space heater and have like 7 guys stuffed in there smoking in an Afghan winter, you know what I mean? And for them to be able to walk in here, and one of them was featured in a commercial that I posted yesterday, Tim Boardman, U.S. Marine Corps, and he came in and I think his words in that video kind of summed it up. We used to talk about this, in the cold in Afghanistan, and then to see it come to fruition, it's basically just a culmination of it. Even the name of it, it's personal.
I wanted to ask you about that. How did you come up with the name? Because that's sexy. It makes you just want to come check that situation out.
You know what I'm saying? It's funny because a lot of people that sit down and talk to me, they never ask me that question. But it's basically a play on words for 2 things I'm really passionate about: cigars and wine. So I took CU from Cuba, known for their great cigars. The apostrophe is a lit cigar. And Noma, because of my love of wine, it's a nod to the wine country in America, Napa and Sonoma. So I combined them together.
Come on.
And there it is.
So when I pull up in that parking lot and look at that sign, it just reminds me of two things that I'm passionate about. Most people think it's a fancy French or Spanish word, but it's something personal to me.
So I hope y'all took two things from that. Number one, there's no such thing as that's not a word. But number two, if you are considering going into business, for yourself or whatever, it has to have that extra passion and purpose for you, from your name to your mission, because, hey, damn what you're seeing on Instagram, that entrepreneur thing is not always easy. And sometimes the only cheerleader you're going to have is the work you've already done. So you have to be able to pull up or power up or whatever and see something that's going to inspire you on those dark days to help you keep going. Has anybody here had some dark days in this entrepreneur thing?
Many.
Wait, you need some oxygen, right?
You're not walking around with your own spotlight, man. There's something wrong. Them days are definitely dark.
Yeah.
I think Cat Williams said it best. You have to get in touch with your star player.
Right.
But this thing is not always glamorous or whatever. And real talk, you're talking about on average, most businesses won't see 5 years, and there's a whole slew of reasons, especially in our community, from under capitalization to systemics, etc. But the biggest thing is within you. You have to have what it takes to keep going. A lot of people do affirmations. I have an old Juvenile song I listen to. Can you handle it when it's hard? Y'all don't hear me, but make something out of nothing all the time, until that thing, most of us will go from a place where you're supporting your business. Oh, but the day you hit the place where your business supports you, it's a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? It's a beautiful thing. So I'm sorry to go off on a tangent. I'm sorry, but
Great words.
The other thing I hope y'all picked up, if your kids go to the military, they're coming back smoking and drinking. Shout out to all my veterans. We just had Veterans Day. Honor to all of those that served. My stint was short for behavioral reasons, but we're gonna leave that in the past. I was 18. So tell me, how have you navigated, as a brick and mortar, how have you navigated COVID?
Well, first, when the shutdown order went into effect midnight, March 23rd, I actually made a decision to close the lounge, and I closed the lounge for 4 months, just because I was taking the virus serious. Anybody that was looking at, media and seeing what was going on, and you hear those numbers, and you listen to the pressers with Judge Jenkins and Dr. Wang here in Dallas County. You look at those numbers, and that got my attention. And when I decided to set a reopen date, really and truly, the whole mission was just don't vary from the script. Bring back what people loved about Cu'Noma before I closed, which was continue that traditional cigar lounge concept and don't change. And from the day that I reopened, people showed that they were really ready for the place to be back open. And so I've just maintained the course. And while I was closed, I made some changes, adding humidor space and so forth. Because I figured if I'm going to be closed, let me try to make the place better during that time while I have the downtime to be able to do it.
Now, we ain't going to run past that like you didn't say it. So you didn't close and sit at the house and just Hey, well, to close, let's see what the government gonna do.
Oh, no.
You double down on your business.
Yeah, I was here pretty much at least 5 days a week, if not every day.
Yeah.
So for those of you, I ain't picking on nobody, but I'm just saying. Way back in April, I told y'all some people gonna come out of this thing better than ever.
Yeah.
Some of y'all just gonna fold. You know, commitment is the elimination of all options.
I like that.
Yeah.
So you doubled down, and the tribe came back and blessed you.
That what you just said was really profound. That just touched me in the spirit.
Yeah. Yeah.
You said commitment
Is the elimination of all options.
That is really what you get faced with when you know that you are invested in something. That pretty much does leave you with the mindset of I have to get this guy.
Gotta get it done.
Right.
You know what I mean? I got too much into this to just walk away from it. And then if you know, I say it all the time. I post about it. You know, a lot of people say they do it for the culture. You know what I mean? But you know, when you really live, eat, sleep, breathe this cigarism, I mean, it's like you have to have it. I mean, and it's like, you know, when you're laying in bed and you're thinking, damn, did I order that other 6 ounces of Dallas Leaf dishes? You know what I mean? That's how when you're really, you know, in it. You know what I mean? That's the type of things that you do. You laying in bed, you're really thinking about the business and did you do this? Damn, what do I got to do tomorrow? You know what I mean? And that's what I want Cu'Noma to be, that place that, you know, for the businessman or woman, for the blue collar guy or gal, that when they come in here, you know, they can enter that door and it's like they walked into their living room away from home. They can think about everything that went wrong last week, game plan that next stock purchase, if they're going to do that big real estate deal, you know, and just enjoy every note of their cigar while they do it.
Well, brother, I'm going to give you your flowers while you're living because the first 2 times I came to Cu'Noma, you weren't here. And
that's hard to do.
One of the this is I want to encourage every other small business owner while giving Tommy his flowers, because one of the hardest things to do is to not be in your business at any given time or whatever. The ability to be able to empower and train people to have that continuity of service. And I was saying that to tell you, I came here 3 times and neither time you were here or whatever. The third time I actually came to meet you. It wasn't scheduled. I was like, let me drop by, see if I catch him in the spot or whatever.
Let me meet this guy who's following me.
Your staff, man, on point like a finger.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I like and you know, the lounge had such a luxurious, intimate feel, you know, and it's not a knock to anybody, but when I started smoking and I went to my first couple of cigar lounges that wasn't owned by us or whatever, you know, it had its feel to it. As I started to explore some that was owned by us, some of them, they had more of a nightclub feel, and it wasn't my thing. You know, it was like, yeah, if I'm looking to go out there, all right, but, you know, when I'm looking for my, you know, I want to chill, you know. And so I came here, and the first time I came, I didn't bring a bottle. I didn't know it was BYOB. I was like, oh, hell, damn. And but the next 2 times, best believe, I was ready. And I never ran out of ice serves or nothing. I mean, they was on point like a finger. So shout out to your staff. We got Tawana in the building. What's going on, my coach? Hey, props. Verna Owens says she need an invite next time. You don't need an invite to come to Cu'Noma. They open. They do what they do. We're going to go ahead and hit this other commercial when we be back. When we come back, we're going to get into this politics situation, and it's going to get ugly.
Ready to begin your business? Should you be an LLC or a C corporation? How do you track the cost of goods versus operating supplies? What are your depreciable assets? Are you structured to obtain business credit? Not sure? Get a boss. An individual business operations success suite from Elite 8 Tax and Financial Services will position your business for success and avoid the pitfalls of startups. From registering with your state, operating agreements, bookkeeping, tax filings, and more, Elite 8 Tax and Financial Services can be your growth partner at every level of your business. Schedule your needs assessment today at www.elite8financial.com/boss or by phone at 469-412-0056.
New Orleans. Shout out 504. We're back on the camera.
Yeah, man.
So we're going to go ahead and, for the first time on screen, we have not only my director of operations, and I don't know if y'all know this, but I do tax, I don't do tech, I don't do detail. So this is the person that keeps me organized and, you know, keep things flowing on time. Welcome to Boss Talk Radio, Miss Natia Duplessis. And the R is silent, like Jacob. So, but she has her own venture, Destination and Occasions. I appreciate the support with the Boss Talk Radio today. You know, talk to them about Destination and Occasions. I don't travel no other way. Somebody made a comment the other day on my post. You always going somewhere. Thing is, I never know where I'm going. I don't ask questions. They be like, well, what time you leave? I don't know. Where you stay? I don't know. When you leave? I don't know that either. So I know in the near future, today I'm going hunting. Next week I'm going hunting. After that, I'm going to, where I'm going? Cabos. I had to cancel Thailand this year. I had to cancel, was it Cozumel? Costa Rica. I had to cancel a bunch of stuff. So this time I'm like, look, if they cancel, they'll just bail me out at the airport because I'm going. Somebody flying this thing. You got to come up a little bit of the camera. So talk to them about Destinations and Occasions.
I am a career
Little
travel and event planning company. Anywhere you want to go, anything you want to do, I am your person. You can get it done for you. All you have to do is let me know what you want to do, and I can get it done.
So, you know, I don't know if y'all understand how, because everybody has that cousin planner, you know, and there's times where you just have to go ahead and do real business, you know. Some of y'all, I'm going to go and talk about your cousins for a second. You know, some of y'all want to have events and, you know, you talk to people that's doing a side hustle or whatever, and you have this Rolls Royce idea with the Schlitz budget.
I like that.
You know, and everybody kind of throwing things together and y'all catching an attitude with people. One of the things I love about Destinations and Occasions is I don't have to be involved in it. You know, sometimes I have to answer questions because, like, so do you want it to go? Like, I don't know, you know. But she makes it happen for me. So when you see, you know, the presentation of Elite 8 Tax and Financial Services, Dig, Boss Talk Radio, etc., she does the details behind that thing. And shout out to my man, Eric Bettis with Graphic Line Media, who's always bringing you guys the hot videos, graphics, etc. But we're going to go ahead and talk about this situation here. Somebody give me some fire. We about to get it hot up in here. We're going to go ahead and talk about this situation with this election here. With 45 and Sleepy Joe, etc. You know,
Sip for this.
you're going to have to touch up that glass a little bit. It's going to get hot.
Yeah, I need some.
So that's the deep side. Well, we ain't going to advertise. We on the top of the so you were heavily involved with the Biden-Harris campaign. Was that here or in Houston?
I'm involved in one here.
Here in Dallas.
Right.
So one of the things that us get mad about when I get to talking is I believe we are we should be, I ain't gonna say we should be way past the conversation of whether or not you're voting. Like, to me, that's asinine.
Right.
We should be, but you would be surprised at how many people still do not feel that their vote matters.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have recently run into two people.
Yeah.
And our conversations got very heated about why their vote matters.
Can I play devil's advocate?
Please do.
So here's the thing. While I don't condone it, I'll say I can understand why people who feel disenfranchised, etc., may feel like their vote doesn't matter. But I would also, disclaimer, limit that to a presidential race. And that's to my point, is that when we're talking about voting or not voting, we should be so far past whether or not you're gonna vote. But I feel like we should be more engaged in the process beyond the polls. That's my frustration,
Understood, yes.
And we get, I own this. I can say what I want. We get these neo-woke Negroes, that want to condemn people on voting this, that, and the other. And it's like, by the way, while I'm saying this, you go check my record and, check posts from way back to when Facebook came into existence. I just feel like you got to go past the polls, and half of these neo-woke Negroes don't even know what's going on in their communities.
Right.
They got kids in school, don't know who the principal is,
Right.
don't know who sits on the board.
Right.
Shout out to my man Boom Witten, who I went to school with, that ran for school board in New Orleans, District 4. Shout out to Selena Thomas out there in California. We had her on the show a couple months back. She ran for a city council seat. Right. I think that it's important to really get involved in the politics that affect you. But I asked this question a couple of weeks ago, and social media, so they thought, let me have it. But the question was, well, what do Black people want? We talk about let's go out and vote. We condemn 45 as if, the other is that much better, and they'll be like, well, Trump is racist. So is Biden. People change. Well, what the hell? It draws maybe, but, so I'm going to go to you because you deep down in this thing and you involved. First and foremost, let's start with this. What would you like to see from us past the polls?
Well, I think it's more so on the education. I think we need to realize that it's just not about voting for presidential candidates. That you can look back.
Give me some volume on that thing. They need to hear this.
Okay, well, you can look back and even what happened, with George Floyd, and how, the district attorney and the attorney general, basically, took forever to get those people arrested. So that's why we need to make sure that we get these DAs in there that's going to look out, for our best interests. That's why it's best for us to get these attorney generals. And it starts local, and that's why it's important to vote local as well as presidential races. So and that's why we're here, and that's what I do, especially in Dallas County, make sure that we're educated and know that it just doesn't stop at the top. You have to start at your local races. So that's why it's so important and so key to vote in your local races more so than your presidential. And even with the presidential, everybody's like, "Oh, no, are you happy?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm glad that 45 is about to leave." But the thing is we still need to get majority in the Senate because with us having a president, if we can't get them passed, it's like can't get any bills passed, it's like, we're back to step one. So that's why it's so important and so key that we get the majority in the Senate so we can start getting some stuff passed.
Now, a lot of pundits missed that point when it came to Obama's presidency. There's always this talk of, well, what did he do for the Black community? And my thing is always, well, hey, first and foremost, what agenda was presented in an organized front? Well, he did this for the gays and he did this for the, but you're talking about well-organized, well-oiled machines that come forward with the PACs and, hold people accountable. So here came that other question: what does accountability look like, and how do we achieve that?
Well, the thing is, if you look at it long term, we two steps behind. We're just now getting our voting rights in the 1960s. So we are already 2 steps behind, and I think that's why it's so important and so key that we have an agenda. We can't say, well, we want, what are you doing for Black people? Okay, well, what have we set on the table? That's organized, with bullet points of exactly what we need.
Right.
So that's why it's so important that we have an agenda. And also too, on the flip side of that, we're gonna hold you accountable for everything that you say that you're gonna do. We've got a sister, for vice president, but like I said, they need to be held accountable too, because just like how he's leading, if we don't hold them accountable for what they say they're gonna do, find 2 other people that can't.
So you brought up a couple things, and me being devil's advocate, I'm gonna keep it hot.
It is.
So first and foremost, you brought up the sister Kamala Harris, and so Tia is here, and she's from California and know that record well. And that aside, a DA has a job, but I want to talk about this other side of this thing, is what I call the trophy. We live in a society where everybody gets a trophy just for showing up. And, y'all don't get mad at me. I don't give a damn. I win this. But she gonna have to show me that she wasn't just the trophy, just to say, hey, this is the reason Black folks should vote this side.
Right.
Again, being devil's advocate, because if you go check my record, I'm not Republican. I'm not Democrat. I'm what you call independent. That's my way of thinking. That's my way of voting. So when it comes to what people are putting out there, I don't give a damn if you're old, young, white, Black, business owner. I want to know what's it. Everybody's favorite radio station is WIIFM. What's in it for me? Self-preservation is not selfishness. I'm gonna say that one more time. Self-preservation is not selfishness. So I've seen a lot of wealthy Black people get called coons and this and that and the other for not necessarily their support of 45, but just speaking out to the question of what's in it for me, and I think the disconnect, and everybody please chime in, but I think the disconnect is that first and foremost, we suffer from looking to celebrity for leadership. That's part one. Part two, how can you blame a celebrity that's in a different tax bracket for speaking in their best interest?
Well, since you want to be devil advocate, I'm gonna be devil.
Come on, that's what I'm talking about. Hey,
the thing is,
spoke out.
Even with the thing with Ice Cube, I would say this. Why'd you wait till the end of the term? We had 4 years to have this conversation. So you wait till the end of this term, to roll out this agenda. And the thing is you didn't even have people in these particular areas like education and things like that to consult you. So,
but there's a backdrop that says Dr. Claude Anderson, not Boyce Watkins, but the other guy, that a couple people was involved in the formation of this plan, and that Cube just used this platform to exercise, or his celebrity, if you would, to exercise access to the plan. I'm not saying if he was right or wrong or whatever, but I think everybody gave pause to the timing of it. But my question to that, again, devil's advocate, if not, then when? You know, okay, he didn't do it 4 years ago. He did it now. Should he have waited till after the election, where really nobody had any fire to the feet to even listen?
Why didn't he do it before, when Trump could have shown that he was actually going to do something? Because here's my thing.
It could be a question of why he didn't do it when Hillary and Trump was running.
But if he decided to do it when Trump was in office, which is when he did it,
Uh-huh.
if you would have did it a year ago, Trump could have had a year under his belt showing that he was going to do it. Because in my opinion, he wasn't going to do it, period. I'm going to sit there and do it and show you black folks. I'm meeting with other black folks that y'all like.
Which has always been his thing.
Right. Let me, y'all reelect me, and then I'm not going to do it anyway.
Right.
So my thing is, as a black celebrity, if you're going to quote unquote push for it 2 years into his thing, so you have 2 years to show me something. Because we all know he's not going to do it. So why even play that game?
Okay, so here's the thing. And this has been since proven wrong. I forget the brother's name that spoke on it, but it's been proven wrong. He said that, hey, I brought it to both. They said, we'll get with you after the election.
Right.
Now, to me, there's a logic to that, meaning why even have this conversation? We're not in power.
Right.
And to the flip side, the same, which was the manipulation of, okay, well, I'll show that I'm listening just to encourage, more votes or whatever.
Right.
But in my opinion, it didn't matter when he presented it or who he presented it to. All I want to say is that they don't really care about us.
You know what I'm saying? In 4 years, he did nothing. So my point is,
and there's an example of a coon crawfishing.
right.
Yeah, I said it.
But my thing is, there was already an example of him meeting with a black celebrity,
Right.
and him having 4 years to do absolutely nothing. So when it comes to any of the black celebrities who met with him, and then he went from Steve Harvey to now I'm gonna meet with rappers.
Right.
Okay, so what would you say, and this is an open question, to there's something that exists, I don't know how, but it's out there. There is real black 45 support. Men and women.
Right.
And they are prepared to argue with you about what he has or hasn't done. And me just being a student, I watch and I can say, in all honesty, and here's the point where, y'all go and scooch in your seat, because, hey, this is a reality. What has he done for black people? Well, there's a list that's quite impressive. But then they say, well, but he's a racist. Here's what I see when I look at 45. I see somebody who positioned themselves as not a politician, who was in fact a cunning politician. Here's somebody who always managed to cater to his base,
Right.
while doing what he wanted to do or see what he felt needs done. Now, all the childish rants and Twitter stuff aside or whatever, he has made some strides. And me being the student, I'm like, I can't take that away from him.
That sounds like opportunists.
Definitely opportunist, but here's the flip side of that game, though. There's people that say, well, he has encouraged the divide. He has encouraged racism and what have you. And I'm like, okay, well, he didn't increase that. All he did was make them comfortable coming out of the closet, like that's all he did. Like, hey, this is who I am, like, hey, so the temperature that we live in today, this heated tension, I propose to you that I can't think of a president in my eligible voting age where we didn't have that level of heat, going back to Rodney King or even before I was able to vote. There's always been this level of tensions that when we start to talk about the presidential election, we get under this mindset of unification, and one of my favorite questions when people say that line about his had to make America great again, but when was America ever great for black folk? Like, point me to that time, the great again. When was that? Because I ain't read about it. I didn't live in it. When was that?
For me, I think it says something about the office, the president, the presidency itself. You don't expect for your president to be that person that insults, that drives the vision. Okay, he could do that as a businessman, and he did it however long we know Donald Trump. Mm-hmm. But when you sit in that seat, it's more than just the person. And we never seen a president like Donald Trump.
Yes,
right? Never. And that's what kind of threw everybody off. It's like, okay, he's really sitting in the highest office in the land, doing what he did when he was running that Your Fire show.
Can I ask a question? This baffles me for 45 supporters. Everything that they feared Barack was gonna be, y'all ain't ready.
I'm hearing you.
Everything that they feared Barack was gonna be, Trump was.
Right.
But his support hasn't diminished. Why is that?
I think more so it goes deeper than him because the sources
that's the point that right there
that surround him are the real power. So that's why it's important that we get majority in Senate, we get the majority in the House, so we can make sure that things like that don't happen. And again, too, when they all treat us out, it falls on us. That's why it's so important that we vote, top to bottom, so we can get people in there that's going to look out for us and look out for our agenda. So this will be magnified like how it was the last 4 years.
And let me say this: you asked, why are there African American? Why are there black voters for supporters of Trump? If you don't feel good about yourself, you always want to look down on somebody else. Meaning, if I'm a well-to-do black person and I'm not happy with myself, I want to look down on other black people. I want to be better.
One more time for the people in the back. One more time for the people in the back.
Yes. I feel like I did better than where I came from, so I don't want to, associate with them. So instead of looking out for the community and saying I came from this, or the generational wealth is where I came from, or any of those situations, I'd rather associate myself with somebody who really don't like me, who really want to see me as a slave or any of those aspects, because that's still how they look at you. They don't look at you as their equal. They still look at you as beneath them, but you're too busy trying to put down somebody else that you don't see that person is putting you down.
It is the humanity part, because I could disagree with your politics, but when it's all said and done, what's right and what's wrong. So it's just the humanity part of it. I mean, you have someone that's in there that's been real divisive of people, especially people that he governs. So it's just the humanity part. And I mean, we had a commander in chief that just wasn't even tuned to the humanity part of everything. So I think that's where it all stemmed from as well. And again, too, that's why I think, he was opportunist. He was an opportunist. And the ones that, were so pissed off at Obama but didn't want to vote for a woman, he catered to that demographic.
Church.
So
Amen.
we catered to that demographic, we see what happened. 2016.
Which speaks to you when you said, where he get the support from. He still has his base.
But this is my question to America, specifically Black America, as it relates to that. To me, this election was such an indicator of what America really is.
Right.
Yes.
You know, like, damn how we feel personally or whatever, because all of America is not represented on here, you know.
Right.
But the reality is, at a bare minimum, 70 million people think differently. And for me,
that's a lot.
Part one on I don't know how y'all, but part one past my politics, my personal agenda, my taxes, this and that and the other. This person controls the buttons.
Right.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Y'all call me petty, but this dude.
Yes, very much so.
You know,
all I think about is how they used to say they would never want a woman in office because of her emotions.
Yes.
Right. And I be thinking, you have a grown man in there who
too short D40 got a song. Some of you, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, this dude is emotional.
Right. I mean, to the point where he controls that power, where he controls the most powerful military in the world. He has access to, at any time, do this, push a button, blow us all up.
Right.
Anytime
several
somebody
women
doesn't agree with him,
that I would want
you
in there
fired.
before him.
And then even on the women aspect, I know when I have a woman, I move better. Because women do something that us as men don't do a lot. That's
I gotta prime you up on
that.
I gotta prime you up on that.
Women pay attention to
Hey, you'll never hear that admitted publicly again. Let me just go on say.
This is recorded and you can rewind and play. And what minute are we at? Right?
Hey, real men understand this situation. You know what I'm saying? We move all the way different,
And then even with voting numbers, Black men and Asians are the lowest voting demographic out there. The highest demographic voting is the Black women from the age of 35 to 55.
Can we talk about the Asians for a minute? You say that they're one of the lowest voting blocks, yet they're one of the most economically successful blocks.
Yeah.
I think more so because they keep their community.
That's what I wanted to talk about.
Money
Come on.
Circulate.
Come on. One more time for those that don't understand.
So that's why it's important. Even like with this, we support us. And that's why we need to get our own. We need to support us, and we need to keep the money circulating in our communities. And then, we don't have to go out, to north. If want to stay south, we don't have to go north. So that's why it's so important and so key that we keep and have our money circulating within our own communities, so we can have a base. And if we want to do something, we can do it. Even looking at like Tulsa had their own community. They didn't have to go outside of their community they were in, and you see what happened to them.
Now, I want to get dangerous with this situation because some people don't like this conversation, and when I talk about community economics or whatever, there's a cancer within us that says, well, that sounds good, but look at what they did to Tulsa. And my answer to that is, you look to Tulsa and you learn from history. They had the economic game sold up, but there was another part of that. I got to look at the camera for to make sure I'm looking at the camera for this. If you, wait, I think I said this one earlier. Self-preservation is not selfishness.
That's right.
Check my timeline. Since 2011, I've been telling y'all, arm up, stock up, circulate your dollars. But you know what? I digress.
It's not even, I hear a lot of people say, us as black people have this crab in the barrel mentality. But the thing is if you really look deep into it, the crab isn't meant to be in a barrel.
Right.
So the thing is who put the crabs in the barrel?
Ooh,
Right?
So wait, can you do that one more time?
Yeah.
Can you do that one more time? Come on, a little louder for the.
The barrel is not meant for a crab to be in.
Right.
Come
The crab
on.
had to be put in the barrel.
That's
so
right.
Try to put the crab in the barrel.
Right.
I want to take the opportunity to shout out my uncle, who's one of the most influential people in my life. Shakri Chajwa, if you're listening. He told me this. I think I want to say I was 9 or 10 years old, and it was similar to what you're saying. He said something about, they say I think outside of the box, but who the hell put me in the box to begin with? I'm well rounded. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
And that's so true. That is so true. Who put the crab in the barrel?
Who put the crab in the barrel?
Even going back to 84 with this crack epidemic, which basically started out there, on the West Coast. Who put the crack in the neighborhood?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's deeper than that. That's why I just feel like if we could just come together and just monopolize on the resources and everything that we're getting. We won't see change until we realize that.
Now I want to get the shovel out and go a little bit deeper on that last comment. You said basically if we use the resources, one of the things that I've been saying since the beginning of this year is that we already have everything we need. This is not to suggest that systemics is not real.
Right.
This is not to suggest that the hundreds of years head start is not real, but we actually already have everything that we need. Yeah, we could go a little bit deeper when it comes to the manufacturing side and production side or whatever, but if you think about the people that hold key positions in top companies, down to the small business owners, and dare I say, even the side hustlers,
Right.
I really can't think of much. If we're being honest, I can't think of much that we could need. That even if it doesn't already exist, we can't produce. What is the thing, in your opinions, what is that thing that holds us bound to white is right or theirs is better, or like what keeps us from circulating that dollar?
For me, I would say education. We have to educate. We got to get out of the it's been 400 years mentality and start educating today. Start educating, living in a society that is of today. We don't do enough of that. We pass our history down. Don't get me wrong, and that's good.
I think we need to do better at that.
We got to educate on how to be successful, how to generate our dollars internally. Once we do that, I think the pieces will start coming together. And that's just my view. I think we roll through generations after generations, but we don't educate. We don't educate going forward.
Shameless plug right now, because he talked about education and whatnot. Business Operations Success Strategies. The book is coming to you before December. Look out for that. But you had something.
Mentality.
Louder.
I think mentality. I think it has a lot to do with, again, generational. We're taught, and our parents did it this way, and they, said this is how it's done, so we do it and we do it and we teach our kids that. So I just think it's a mentality that we have to break and stop saying that since it was done this way, then that's how it should be done.
And in addition to that, I believe education, mentality, and also faith in our people, faith within our community, you know, having faith that if I go to a Black-owned tax servicer, that they will give me the same service that I would get from someone that was a white person.
Okay,
now we got three factions there. Go ahead.
Let me add on that. Is when I go to a Black-owned person, then I'm not going to ask for hookup because we're all Black. I don't go into a non-Black-owned company and ask them for, you know, a discount. They tell me their price and I pay for it. Exactly. But when I go into a Black-owned establishment, I want to know, oh, it's $100. Well, can I get it for this? Because, and I just, you know, pay the price it is, and that way, understanding that that dollar will circulate.
Absolutely.
And leave it at that.
And while those things are key too, I want to add to that too, because again, devil's advocate, we have to do our part. Again, business operations success strategies is about empowering you to operate as a business, not to you and T on what you're saying about supporting Black-owned businesses, but there's a difference between a Black-owned business and a Black-owned business.
Yes.
Open when you say you're gonna open. Be what you say you are. Have continuity of service. Operate in excellence. And not back to my man Tommy Black for what he was saying earlier. You gotta commit to that thing. It's gotta be in you, not on you. You know, we're all branding and everything here or whatever that's on us, but you know, you can see by our excellence that it's in us, that we operate in excellence. And I think that's what the business owners, you know, leave out. So we have to hold ourselves accountable on two fronts, you know, because if you operate like a business, people may treat you like a business, you know.
I like that. That's good. I agree with myself. I agree with everybody, what everyone said. But as my sister said, like I said, I just want to say mentality too, because you know the thing is back when I was in high school, about 70 pounds lighter, I was really, really good at basketball. And someone asked my son, you want to play ball? And he's like, no. He said, why do I want to play for a team when I can own it? So until we get that mentality, you know, we're just going to stay in the same level that we are. You know,
man, some nuggets being dropped here today.
Yes.
Now, y'all know how I feel about the ownership situation. Like, I don't know if you're watching on YouTube or if you're watching on Facebook or if you're watching on Talk Boss Radio, y'all understand one thing, right? YouTube could be like, hey, you know what? You a little too far over there. We gonna cancel this. Facebook be like, we're not gonna allow you to like, I own this, and you can find this on TalkBossRadio.com. Ownership is everything. So, you know, for those of you that feel like, oh, George a little arrogant, he a little cocky, it ain't that. You know, is that who gonna check me?
Right.
You know? Right. Well, the real answer to that is sitting right here. Yeah. But outside of that equation, you know what I'm saying? She ain't gonna do it on camera. Y'all don't know the battle royals that go down, you know, outside of that. But, you know, ownership is imperative, and that's the whole concept behind this show, is to empower those who are trying to start up or has started up. You know, you may have to begin where you are, but the end game has to be ownership.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, but let me add this. I also think that networking is a big key to the Black community.
Yes.
I can't do everything. I don't do taxes. And let's be clear, I have an accounting degree. I don't like it. I went to school for it. I don't like it. I prefer telling him what to do. I have a business management degree. I'm good at details. I'm good at managing businesses. I went and got a degree in that. But I love to travel. I love to plan events. So I went and got a business management degree to be able to run my business.
Right.
So I'm not going to sit up here and say, just because I have an accounting degree, that's my thing. Right. That's his thing. Right. I'm not going to tell anyone how to pick out cigars. That would be your, so it's like network. If you don't know how to do something and you know someone who does, pass the information along. Yes. Don't hold it to yourself.
Right. Support is free.
Support is free.
Right. It's like, I feel like too many of us, I'm not going to give anybody that $1.
Right.
But you're not going to get the $1 either.
Right.
So you leaving that $1 out there to pass off to a non-Black business.
Right.
And here's while I'm passing out roses or whatever,
it is.
I want to give you your flowers because you were smart enough to say, hey, even though this started as, a club of we're going to go here and there because we're going to represent us when we go to smoke, you have a team around you. You were smart enough to say, hey, I don't do social media. When you bring in Sheree, and everybody playing their part, one of the most successful businesses, shout out to my homeboys or whatever, over at New Orleans Daiquiri. You got three owners or whatever, and they play their part, and they were able to expand, and they're now at 3, and forgive me if it's 4, because I know a 4th location was in the works. Locations that they're doing well, and everybody's trying to duplicate what they have, but they don't understand that one key factor is there's no one person doing everything. Everybody plays their role, just like I said earlier, all of my detail is focused on saving money from Uncle Sam. You know what I'm saying? Right. Getting you out of tax trouble. Outside of that, I can't find my keys. I don't know where that. So I had to put somebody in place that is OCD on this situation, like to the point, she get on my nerves sometimes with it, but she on her A game with like nobody can do it better,
And just to echo that, when I had looked at Dallas Leaf as a company, as a business, I knew for a fact I didn't want to do everything. I set up the companies to allow others to come in and shine areas that I don't want to do the cigar side. I don't want to do the entertainment side. So me creating the platform to bring in those beautiful people, those people that have expertise in doing that. That's what I really wanted to do. I wanted to set up companies where I could bring in a Shimon, I could bring in a Sheree, and I could say, here you go run it. I have a vision. I have that foresight, but I know I didn't want to do it all. I'm 50 deuce. I'm at an age in my life where, man, I want to be successful through the success of others.
Right. And with that, that's how actually I got involved in Dallas Leaf. I came in, under the cigar club, and him speaking of the vision and watching the LLC form.
You're not gonna just run past that like you didn't say it. Can you say that one more time? He had the what?
The vision. I believe his vision made me believe in something bigger than myself.
Somebody gonna be saved today. She going to church.
And I do, and I've seen it come to fruition. This vision that was bigger than me, bigger than him. We have a lot to contribute to the community. Why not be a part of that? Right. Why not give
communicate your vision?
Yes.
And when you step towards your vision, the resources will come. You just got to be open, and you got to let that thing go. Like this won't get you nothing, but this will get you everything.
Absolutely.
That's beautiful.
Absolutely.
It's work too.
It
you
is.
have to do the work. You got to do the work.
Oh, since you touched that subject, let me ask you a question. I'm pretty sure everybody here had a job before they were. Did you find yourself, because there's this perception out there, I'm gonna go into business, I'm gonna hang my sign, and next week I'm gonna be a millionaire on a private jet or whatever. Did you find yourself working more or less?
More. I would go on dates doing social media. I'm supposed to be enjoying my date.
Her and I out there, man, and we like I said, we on a date. This one here on her phone, she doing posts, she doing social media, and she looking at me because I'm looking at her like, nigga, we on a date, you know. But you're right. You work more, and you know, for
but
me,
somehow it feels like this.
Right. I want to be to a point where
because they be saying that, you know, there's this concept out there that I knock the 9-to-5ers or the blue collars or whatever. It's not that. It's like somebody asked me this question in 2012, and it was such a paradigm shift because I didn't know when I had anything less than 2 jobs,
right?
You know, and whatever number of side hustles. The question was, what is your end game? And that changed everything. You know, that just changed everything and how I moved or whatever. So, you know, I want y'all to take that away with you. What is your end game?
Right.
You know, it's not for everybody to own a business, but you do need to know what your end game is and whatever it is you do, because today, next week, Friday, next year ain't it. It's got to be bigger than that.
Right.
You're right.
Even with that, even to become a millionaire, you need to have more than one source of
That is
income
true.
coming in. You know, I want someone to teach me how to fish and not give me the fish.
Right.
Yes.
You know, so that's why it's so important. So
that's a whole nother show right there.
Right.
You know, then we go out there and we get it. I mean, like I said, the resources and opportunities out there. But we just have to have that mindset to go out there and get it.
And be dedicated to.
Yes.
And you'll be amazed at how many people that are millionaires are not millionaires with a monetary value.
Right.
They own
Well,
Yes.
Right.
wealth.
Right.
So we have to change the way I think. You know, we can't look at $1 million as $1 million sitting in cash.
Right.
Look at our
Ooh,
wealth.
that's a whole nother show
Look
right
at our
there.
wealth.
Yes.
Look at where we can be prosperous with wealth.
It's something that you can pass down.
Right.
Yes. Will
Now
it
that
now.
goes back to the generational wealth episode a few weeks back. Y'all go check that out with my man Douglas Aziz or whatever, you know, but that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
So, Ron, for those of us, are you at the distribution point? Are you shipping cigars? Yeah. Okay. Tell everybody how to link up with you.
DallasLeafLLC.com. So you put your order in, the cigars out there. We ship out once a week. Matter of fact, I got boxes sitting in my truck right now that we got to go to the post office. So that's how you get in touch with us. That's how you get in touch with what we're doing. That's how you get in touch with the cigars. DallasLeafLLC.com. I want everything on the one website. So that's where we are.
And you were such a contribution to this show. I want you to tell them about where to find you at. You yourself.
Yeah, we definitely booking you.
Yes.
We got trips we need to book to
Yes.
you. Trust.
Destinations and occasions.
Now, I don't know if it's the Douce or whatever, but I'm struggling on the occasions part. Did I spell that right there?
No.
I didn't.
No.
I'm gonna let you go and type that situation up in there because I'm feeling good. I'm gonna need another stick. You know what I'm saying? Type this situation up. You know? And
when are you going to Cabo?
that requires more information than
I'm sorry.
How long will you be there?
5 days.
So
We'll be there.
So we'll meet you in Cabo.
Hey!
We're going to Cabo on the 10th of December.
On the
10.
we come back on the 10th.
Oh no.
Okay, we're gonna
We'll
go on
catch
the
you on the
9th.
day after.
We're gonna catch you on.
That's it. You got it. Hit add if you got it, and then his show. Hook on that and his show. There you go. All right, destinationsandoccasions.com. If you have an event or whatever, and then last but not least, I want to hit my man off on here and talk to is it Nation?
True Blue Nation Media.
True Blue Nation Media.
Cowboy fan, I tell you.
Unfortunately.
We ain't gonna hold that against you.
Unfortunately.
Media.
Hey, don't hang on the Cowboys. We down. We're coming back.
We're coming back. Yes.
.com. Okay.
And while you doing that, man, I gotta give a shout out talking about black-owned businesses and everything.
Talk to him.
We got Class A Vodka in the building with us. Black-owned.
Come on over here, man. Come on over here.
Tim and his wife Crystal has one of the best vodkas out there. I'm not just saying that. It's true. Go try it. My man Tim. Class A Vodka in the building.
Class A Vodka.
Camera right there, man. Say hello to the world.
Yes.
So if you have not had this vodka, by all means, please.
I forgot the A.
Try it.
Class.
I ain't gotta say nothing past trying it, because once you try it, you're gonna love it. Put down the Ciroc, the Belvedere, Grey Goose. Try Class A Vodka.
Hold on, we ain't gonna run past this man. Introduce yourself. Look right over there. Talk to him.
Yeah. I'm the photo the CEO of Class A Vodka, but I'm the operation manager of Class A Vodka.
Talk a little bit louder.
Well, my wife is the first black-owned African-American company. Had vodka to come out of France. Hopefully, at the beginning of the year, we should be in all the stores worldwide. I'm trying to shout.
No, you can't be camera shy. Not on Boss Talk Radio.
Also, in 2022, we have some judicial races coming as well as state rep races. So make sure that you are registered to vote. If you are not registered to vote in Dallas County, I can get you registered to vote. TREY trade at DallasDemocrats.org. Like I said, we definitely have to make sure that we get people in these positions that are going to look after us, our agenda, and hopefully we can make some change.
Hey, I've enjoyed this episode. This is the first time we've done a on location site. Tony, can I get you to swing around this side right quick on camera? Shout out to my man Tommy Black for hosting us and altering his day, Cu'Noma Cigar Lounge. Hey, thank you guys, Dallas Cigar Leaf, True Blue Nation Media, Destinations and Locations, Class A Vodka. Hey, I'm gonna have to get some of that situation up in here. Y'all ain't tell me about it. We should have had you in the camera earlier. You know, while I'm sitting here drinking this situation, I'd have been on the white to keep it right. You know what I'm saying?
It's smooth too.
It is.
Tommy, tell them where you at, man.
We're at 917 North Joe Wilson Road, Cedar Hill, Texas, Suite 101. And you can find us on Facebook, Cu'Noma Cigar Lounge, all lowercase, no space, no punctuation. Cu'Noma Cigar Lounge. You can like that page. Cu'Noma CL, no spaces, just Cu'Noma CL if you want to send any friend requests. And we're on Twitter at Cu'Noma CL and Instagram, Cu'Noma Cigar Lounge, no spaces, all lowercase, Cu'Noma Cigar Lounge.
That's that frat right there, that Masonic frat, yes. Man. I love this dude to death, man.
Indeed.
This has been Boss Talk Radio. Y'all, we'll see y'all next week.
We could not continue to do our filing of our taxes in the traditional sense that we've been doing for so many years. So we opted to go ahead and take the advice from one of our friends that went ahead and referred us. And since he referred us, we said, we decided let's go ahead and check Elite 8 out, and we're glad we did. They were extremely very thorough, so that's part of the excitement that we really enjoyed with Elite 8. So some of the parts of the values that we really enjoyed was that they were, beyond the fact that they were trustworthy, very thorough, extremely responsive, and the fact that we could do things online just the same that we were able to do in the traditional sense.
Get behind the shield.
this